cansado de caminar este país y ver hombres sin dedos, mujeres sin rodillas, ver el abuso y ver la destrucción que una sociedad que explota a personas y nos trata casi como esclavos. Ustedes lo saben. Donde quiera que yo voy, no es un accidente. Yo voy a Orlando y salgo de Orlando y ahí están los latinos. Voy a California, voy a Washington, voy a Oregon, voy a Iowa. Donde quiera que yo voy, donde está la agricultura, hay hombres y mujeres ahí bajo el sol haciendo trabajo fuerte que más nadie en este país quiere hacer. Y nosotros tenemos que entender una cosa. Aquí se va a hacer la cosecha con manos extranjeras en países extranjeros o aquí. Pero de cualquier manera son manos extranjeras quienes van a darnos la comida que nosotros necesitamos todos los días. Y si alguien está dispuesto a sacrificarse para hacer el trabajo que más nadie en esta nación desea hacer, quiere hacer, entonces es tiempo que nosotros le otorgamos permiso de trabajo y ciudadanía. No importa dónde yo voy. Yo me meto en un restaurante, yo voy a la cocina, ¿quién está lavando los trastes? Nosotros. Ustedes lo saben, no, ponen la mesera blanquita y hablan inglés bien. Y no importa, griego, chino. Ustedes dicen, pues los mexicanos están en el restaurante mexicano. Mira, los mexicanos están en todos los restaurantes del país. They're like universal cooks. You go to a Chinese restaurant, there's a Mexican cook. Go to a Greek, a Mexican cook. Sushi, se ve un poquito chinito. They're Mexican. Am I right? Everywhere you go, you see them. Everywhere. But guess what? You don't only see them. The rest of America sees them. And it's time to stop acting like we're blind. We see them. And we don't say, oh, I don't want to eat. I don't want to clean dish. When we get to a hotel room, we don't go, oh, who made this bed? Does she have papers? No, we're just tired and I'm looking for a clean place to go to sleep and rest. You know, it's time. Because I go to these very fancy places and you see the kids playing and you see the families playing and they're in the pool and they go out to the beach and they eat a nice dinner and they go to bed and everything is so beautiful for them, right? Ever been in one of those all-inclusive? I have, and it's wonderful. You know what? At the end of the day, that woman and that man should be able to go home and have an all-inclusive relationship with their own families and have the same joy and the same hope that one day they too can take their life. No es suficiente que nosotros estemos viviendo. Es importante que nosotros podamos echar adelante. Let me just say, my mom and dad, if you would have met them, you know, in 1952, do you really think they thought that their son was going to be a member of Congress? I know, para aquellos que tengan duda, porque siempre está, porque nosotros nos enseñan a tener poca autoestima. Nos enseñan a tener poca autoestima, ¿sí? A no pensar muy bien de nosotros mismos. Mi mamá, 1952, te digo, Gutierrez, hace 62 años, 63. 63 years ago, si mi mamá y mi papá hubiesen dicho, cuando no tenían ni abrigo, no podían hablar inglés, ¿sabes la primera palabra de mi mamá en inglés? The same thing. Y yo dije, papi, ¿por qué tú aprendiste eso? Porque ya estaba cansado de comer lo mismo. Pues yo esperaba y cuando el muchacho cogía así, pedía las cosas, y a mí me agradaba más y yo decía, the same thing. Tú te puedes imaginar cuando mi mamá y mi papá, esa es la única palabra, no tenían abrigo, no sabían lo que era Estados Unidos. Tú te puedes imaginar que él le hubiese dicho al mesero, uno de estos días, my son's going to be a member of Congress. He's going to go across the country. He's going to be a leader among leaders across the country. Do you imagine? Let me just say to you this. The first Latino president of the United States could possibly be in this room with us tonight. tan extraordinario como hubiese sido hace 63 años que yo me parara aquí hablarle a ustedes como congresista. Así no va a ser tan extraordinario que una latina o un latino sea presidente. And they've been born already. They're among us. They're among us. And so I want to end because I think Charlotte is such a wonderful place. And they've been a great struggle. And I want to say to the Congresswoman Adams, and I want to give a particular thank you to our friends in the African American community. And here's why. Because Latinos, we're not going to get it done just by ourselves. We need lots of help. Lots of help. Now, I say that to you because of this. There were black people in this country, especially here in the South, who fought for civil rights and for voting rights. They fought. They lost their life. They were jailed. They were jailed and they lost their lives. So that one day, we as a community could have voting rights in this community. They bombed their churches. They beat them. They jailed them. Why? So that one day there could be more justice. So we are great beneficiaries of those who walked before us in fighting for justice and for freedom and equality in this country. The fact is they passed a Voting Rights Act so that one day I could get elected to Congress and speak on your behalf. And we should be thankful for their courage and their determination. And we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they know a few things about discrimination, about bigotry, and about hatefulness. Now, we're not going to stay because we're here to talk about the future, aren't we? So, I just want to tell you the last thing. Esto es lo último. Piense. Abraham Lincoln, what did he sign? The Emancipation Proclamation. He didn't go to the House of Representatives and the Senate and say, do you think it's a good thing that I free the slaves? There's no legislation. You can't find bill number 7273 passed. No, he signed it and used his pen as the President of the United States. Truman, President Truman, after World War II, después de la Segunda Guerra Mundial, él usó su pluma también. Abraham Lincoln, para liberar a los esclavos, ¿qué dijo? Nosotros hemos derrotado a los nazis. Nosotros hemos derrotado a los fascistas. We've defeated Nazis and fascists in the Pacific and in the European field. And yet still, there are segregated military units of the armed forces of the United States. And he didn't go to Congress because the first people would have been those Southern Democrats that would have said no. He said, I'm going to use my pen. And I'm going to desegregate the armed forces of the United States of America. And he did that 15 years before we passed the Civil Rights Act. Congress caught up to what Truman did. The country, when it changed the Constitution after the Civil War guaranteeing former slaves the right to American citizens, caught up with what Abraham Lincoln did. And let me just suggest to you tonight, para que seamos claros, el presidente Barack Obama va a ir a la historia como Truman y como Abraham Lincoln. And finally one day, the action the president is taking today, the Congress will catch up. And with that, President of the United States. We have a wonderful video. I want you to sit down. Can you put the video of Congresswoman Adams? She has a greeting. Can we turn the lights down a little bit? And I'd love to see my colleague, my new colleague. She's new. She has a great history as a fighter. And we'd love to see it. Where can we watch it? Everybody go to the video. Ready? I'm going to translate. We're going to let her speak, and I will translate her message to you after she's finished. Please, let's go. I'm so sorry, but we just have a technical. We're going to let them work on it. Here's what we're going to do. It doesn't have any audio. All right, let's turn the lights back on. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take 2 questions. I'm going to take 2 questions. Voy a tomar 2 preguntas de la audiencia. Take 2 questions. Number 1, before I do that, the Congresswoman went to a lot of effort to do that video. She loves you very much. She wants to tell you she's on your side and she's ready to fight. Let's give her a round.
Congresista, le quiero preguntar de dónde saca usted tanta energía. Le quiero dar las gracias en nombre de la comunidad por haber luchado por nosotros y desearle que Dios le siga dando mucha fuerza y que no desmaye hasta que logre lo que usted tiene.
Gracias.
Muchísimas gracias.
Okay, welcome to Charlotte. Una cosa que la gente, yo quisiera que usted le diga que, como usted dijo, la unión entre todas las razas, todas las nacionalidades, que asimilen la cultura americana, como usted dice, la bandera de United States of America. Pero hay que cambiar la forma de pensar. Ya tenemos que pensar que somos americanos, que somos, que pertenecemos, ¿no? Entonces, yo no sé si usted ha podido percibir ese mensaje de la gente.
I can agree with you. I think he's absolutely right. So the first thing we have to do is we have to understand we're in this country, right? So I'm going to tell you something. I just want you to think a moment, especially for those outside of our community, as they look at us. Especialmente aquellos que están fuera de nuestra comunidad y nos están viendo a nosotros. Miren, si yo voy donde mi esposa Soraya y yo le digo, mire, tú me caes muy bien a mí, yo quiero tener una relación cercana contigo y es más, yo quiero matrimonio, o sea, yo quiero que tú seas mi nueva compañera, yo quiero ser Luis Gutierrez, yo quiero ser Luis y Soraya de Luis, o sea, yo quiero cambiar, yo quiero comprometerme, ¿ah? Y yo le digo todas esas cosas lindas, ellos me están mirando, pero yo tengo aquí una foto de mi ex. Y en realidad estoy diciendo eso. ¿Qué está diciendo? También que tú quieres que... Pero, ¿y esa foto que tú tienes? Y una chaqueta de la ex. Eso es lo que sucede cuando nosotros vamos a las reuniones, especialmente con inmigrantes, y traemos todas las banderas de todos nuestros países. Mira, aquí lo que hay que ver es una bandera, porque este es nuestra